Hamas leader Khalil al-Hayya outlined his priorities for ending the Gaza war in his first major address after taking office. Al-Hayya presented a six-point roadmap that includes ending Israel's military campaign and securing a full withdrawal from Gaza. The new Hamas leadership says rebuilding Gaza and securing the release of Palestinian prisoners remain key objectives. Khalil al-Hayya also called for greater Palestinian unity and stronger international pressure on Israel as part of Hamas' strategy.
Our first and clear priority is a complete cessation of the occupation's aggression, killing, and terrorizing, and the achievement of a full withdrawal from the Gaza Strip. We're here, calling on the countries sponsoring the negotiation process to exert real pressure on the extremist right-wing occupation government to implement what has been agreed upon and to proceed with the transition to the next phase.
Newly elected Hamas Political Bureau Chief Khalil al-Hayya has outlined 6 key priorities as ceasefire negotiations over Gaza continue. Al-Hayya assumed Hamas top political leadership after Yahya Sinwar was killed during an Israeli military operation in October 2024. The new Hamas leader, who survived an earlier Israeli strike in Doha, delivered his first public address since taking over the movement. In his speech, al-Hayya said ending Israel's military offensive and securing a complete Israeli withdrawal from Gaza were Hamas' immediate priorities. Hamas leadership priorities: end offensive, seek a complete end to Israel's military campaign and full withdrawal from the Gaza Strip. Rebuild Gaza, restore the territory and work to secure the release of Palestinian prisoners. Palestinian unity, reunify Palestinian factions and restructure the Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO. Regional ties, strengthen political and strategic relations with Arab and Muslim countries. International pressure, mobilize global diplomatic efforts to halt Israel's military campaign in Gaza. UN action, press the United Nations to protect Palestinians and pursue accountability against Israel.
Our first and clear priority is a complete cessation of the occupation's aggression, killing, and terrorizing, and the achievement of a full withdrawal from the Gaza Strip. We're here, calling on the countries sponsoring the negotiation process to exert real pressure on the extremist right-wing occupation government to implement what has been agreed upon and to proceed with the transition to the next phase. To restore a dignified life for our people in the Gaza Strip and to thwart all conspiracies, particularly those aimed at displacement, and expedite reconstruction, considering that it's an inherent right of our people, not a gift or favor from anyone, and it cannot be linked to any bargaining, concessions, or political stances. Gaza is an integral part of the Palestinian entity. It has always been, and will remain so. We will also continue to act on all fronts simultaneously for Gaza, the West Bank, and Jerusalem, and to work on liberating the prisoners and end their suffering, and providing them with a life worthy of them, their struggle and sacrifices. Therefore, we call for the immediate initiation of a national dialogue and the establishment of mechanisms to rebuild Palestinian national institutions, foremost among them the Palestine Liberation Organization, on democratic foundations and in accordance with a national consensus that includes all Palestinians and the full political partnership in decision-making, and in formulating and implementing national strategies.
Reuters reported that Israeli forces continue to control more than 60% of the Gaza Strip despite the U.S.-brokered ceasefire. According to Reuters, more than 1,150 Palestinians have been killed since the October 2025 truce came into effect. Israel has maintained that its military operations target Hamas fighters it says continue to pose an imminent security threat. The developments come as tensions across the Middle East remain elevated amid renewed hostilities between Iran and the United States. As the death toll among U.S. troops in the Iran conflict continued to climb, Donald Trump unveiled a fresh and far more aggressive threat directed at Tehran. On July 22, the U.S. president openly warned that American forces could once again bomb civilian infrastructure located inside Iranian territory. Trump declared that U.S. troops would target and destroy bridges as well as power plants in and around the Iranian capital if attacks continued. Trump said, and I quote, "From this point forward, anytime the Islamic Republic of Iran shoots at a ship in the Strait of Hormuz, whether it be by missile, rocket, drone, or any other device or weapon, the United States will bomb and destroy one bridge or power plant." including those located next to, or in, the capital city of Tehran. Shortly after posting the message on Truth Social, Trump vowed retaliation for the recent killings of American service members in the Gulf region. Trump made the remarks ahead of a dignified transfer ceremony honoring 4 U.S. troops who were killed during the ongoing conflict. 3 American service members were killed after an Iranian missile struck Jordan's Muwaffaq Salti air base, according to U.S. officials. A 4th U.S. service member was reportedly killed in Iraq's Erbil during an operation involving hostile drone activity. Trump also insisted that Americans remain supportive of the war with Iran despite the steadily rising military death toll.
To honor our heroes, and they are indeed great heroes, actually. They said, and all of them said very strongly, we cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. They won't have a nuclear weapon. So we're going to honor them. And one of the hardest things to do, for me, it's one of the hardest things to do as a president, but has to be done.
As we go to honor these soldiers, do you have an update on the investigation as to how they were killed in Jordan?
No, they're doing that. That'll be released.
You
know what?
It was Iran targeting barracks.
I don't know. Well, they're going to pay a big price. They're being decimated.
Is that report inaccurate?
Yeah, please.
Sir, let's just say families of these fallen soldiers, when Americans are wrongly against this war, how do you ask them?
Well, Americans aren't against the war. A poll just came out. Americans don't want high gasoline prices, but they're not against the war. That just came out loud and clear in a poll. Nobody wants Iran to have a nuclear weapon. Do you want Iran to have a nuclear weapon? You think it's good? Go ahead. All I'm going to say is we love you, we love your child, and that's what they are to them. They're their children. There's no games, no nothing. That's their child. And all you can do is throw out your heart. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Despite Trump's latest bombing threat, Iran showed little sign of backing down or softening its military posture. Tehran warned that any fresh provocation by U.S. forces would trigger direct strikes on critical civilian infrastructure across the Gulf region. A senior Iranian military official declared that Tehran possessed an iron will to enforce its sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz, according to Tasneem. Iran's retaliatory campaign is already inflicting severe disruption across Gulf countries, with Jordan and Kuwait among the hardest-hit regions.